Hello everyone, my name is Suman Dua and I'm a registered migration agent at Nationwide Migration and Education. We make videos every week in regards to Australian migration, and if this is the topic you are interested in, you may wish to subscribe to our channel. In this video today, we will be talking about Canberra's recent updates regarding 190 and 491 visa nominations. We have received a newsletter from Hans van Dusen, who is the Director of ACT Migration. We have received some great insights on what to expect in the next 2 months of this financial year. Let's have a look at all the updates. This financial year, ACT received 2025 nomination places for the 190 visa and 2025 nomination places for the 491 visa as well, and 10 nomination places for the Business Innovation and Investment Program. This is a significant increase in total nomination places, double that of the last financial year. As of Monday, 17th April 2023, ACT has provided 1392 Provisional Skills Regional Work Visa Subclass 491 nominations, which means ACT has 633 places left. ACT has provided 1175 190 nominations, which means ACT has 850 nominations to go. ACT has provided 10 Business Innovation and Investment nominations. As such, the Business Innovation and Investment Program is now closed. ACT still needs to process 1,488 nominations, or just over 600 nominations a month. You can therefore expect the number of invitations to increase, which will also likely result in lower minimum scores meriting an invitation. This means there are a few things you may wish to consider. The minimum Canberra metric score required to receive an invitation to apply for 190 visa will likely continue to drop. The minimum Canberra metric score required to obtain an invitation for a 190 to date has been 70, though ACT has invited applicants at 65 points for certain priority occupations or occupations where ACT have not had many successful applicants for to date. These scores are not fixed and may drop further depending on occupation demand and the number of remaining places, matrix submissions received, and migrants already nominated for that specific occupation. ACT encourages all interested applicants to submit a Canberra matrix for 190 nomination. Despite this, overseas residents are still more likely to receive an invitation under the 491 pathway. The minimum Canberra metric score required to obtain an invitation to date has been 60, though ACT has invited applicants at 50 points for overseas applicant, certain priority occupations, or occupations where they have not had many successful applicants to date. These scores are not fixed and may vary depending on occupation demand and the number of remaining places, matrix submissions received, and migrants already nominated for the specific occupations. Please note these scores are indicative only and no minimum scores are guaranteed. Depending on the number of matrix submissions ACT receives per occupation, the scores of those submissions, and the number of migrants ACT nominates per occupation and by residency status, the scores may increase or decrease. There has also been update to the ACT nomination guidelines and ACT critical skills list. Both the size and composition of the ACT migration program has changed considerably. The continuing skills shortages mean that a further 128 occupations have been added to the list. Now let's look at the invitation rounds. ACT will continue to send fortnightly invitation rounds. You can expect the size of invitation rounds to steadily increase over the next few weeks. Please note ACT may invite lower scores depending on a range of factors. Every month, ACT assesses the number of nominations per occupation to ensure they are inviting a broad range of applicants. If an occupation is in a priority field and there are few Canberra metric submissions or nominations for it, ACT will consider lowering the minimum score for occupation on a case-by-case basis. ACT government continues to prioritize increasing the number of nominations for overseas residents. This means you will see an increase in the number of invitations for overseas residents. Now let's look at some of the changes that have been announced. Employment criteria have been eased for ACT nomination of a 491 and a 190 visa. The minimum hourly requirement an applicant must work per week has been reduced from 20 to 15 hours for a 491 visa and from 35 to 30 hours for a 190 visa. Employment does not need to be fully continuous. Applicants need to meet the employment requirements for a set number of weeks in a given period, which is 13 weeks out of 15 for a 491 visa and 26 out of 30 for a 190 visa. The minimum required English level has been lowered for those applicants applying for the 491 visa. Applicants can now obtain ACT nomination for a 491 visa with competent English at date of Canberra metric submission. The minimum threshold for 482 visa holders has been reduced. Applicants can now receive an invitation at 60 points only. Applicants can claim metrics points for length of ACT residence when they have been away from Canberra for more than 6 weeks under certain conditions. Applicants claiming more than 2 years of ACT residence can be away from Canberra for up to 12 weeks in a year. Applicants can claim Canberra metrics points for length of ACT residence when they have previously worked in regional New South Wales within commuting distance from the ACT while living in the ACT. Now please note the eligibility criteria have not changed. Applicants must still work in Canberra at the date of Canberra metric submission to be eligible for ACT nomination. The renomination policy has also been amended. If you have any questions regarding the Canberra metrics or you wish to apply for the nomination application with Canberra, please get in touch with us. If you have any questions in regards to Australian migration, please get in touch with us. You can book a consultation through our website sumandua.com.au. If you would like to stay updated about Australian migration, please subscribe to our channel.